Good evening, everyone. This is Girish Keddy. Welcome to Science Lecture. Today, we are going to deal with the data structures, which is chapter 4 in Unit A. The Unit A has totally 4 chapters. The first chapter is of 4 marks, and the second chapter, the weightage of the second chapter is of 9 marks, and the weightage of the third chapter is 4 marks. And today, what we are dealing is about data structure, which is the blueprint of this one is in the next slide. So please concentrate on this. The blueprint of the chapter is that it has one question in 1 mark section, which makes a total of 1 mark. It has one question in 3 mark section, which makes a total of 3 marks. And it has 2 questions. This is very important. We have to concentrate here. This chapter has 2 questions in 5 marks. You have totally 11 questions in 5 mark sections. In 11 questions, 2 questions belongs to this chapter only. In 2 questions, you have to write one algorithm, which is based on data structures, primitive, non-primitive, linear, non-linear, that we're going to progress it later. One question is based on algorithm, you have to write an algorithm, and second question is explanatory. So these are the 2 compulsory questions, which makes a total of 10 marks. Total weightage of this chapter is 14 marks. So this is very important. You have to concentrate on this part. In 1 mark section, you are having 1, 3 mark section, it is 3 marks. In 5 mark section, 10 marks. Okay. So let us proceed. We'll take to the next concept, introduction to the data structures. So we'll begin a chapter here. Before we understand what is data structure, first we have to know what is actually data. So read on the screen, the information that a computer is dealing with is called as data. The information that a computer is dealing with is called as data. Okay, the raw information, what we give it to the computer for the processing. For example, student register number, student name, student marks. So this is a raw information of a student, which we are giving it to the computer for processing, to process his result. Like we are going to get a total result, total marks, then percentage. So this is what we are getting an output from the computer. But to get the output of total marks and percentage, first we have to provide some necessary data like student register number, student name, and his 6 subject marks. So what input we are giving it to the computer for the processing, this raw information is called as data. Okay, so we'll proceed to the next point. We'll read it first and then we'll discuss it later. The data may be integers, the register number, remember that part. Student register number I have given. Take an example, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 is a student register number. 1, 2, 3, 4 is an integer number. As I already told, the numbers without a decimal point, whole numbers, are known as integer numbers. Floating point numbers. Suppose we are getting a percentage of a student as 78.23. 78.23 is a result of a student. Then it is with a decimal point. Then such number is known as floating point number. Characters, the student name comprises of character. The set of characters is called as strings. So student name is an example for string. So this type of data will give it to the computer and will take output. Correct. This is what we have discussed in our first year section, in our first year classes. But in the second year classes, we are going to discuss about data structures. The main concept of the chapter, how actually the data is stored in the memory. Structure, how the data is stored in the memory. It's a memory structure we have to study. So we'll proceed to the next point. We'll read it from the screen. On the screen you are seeing now, before the processing of this data, it is necessary for us to store the data with proper storage structure. As I already told, before we process students' data, the student data has to be stored somewhere in the memory in some structure. Structure, as we have discussed in PUC first year classes, we have discussed about arrays. Array has some structure, correct? What structure? It stores the numbers in the sequential formats in the array indexes 0, 1, 2, 3. It is a structure, a storage structure. A of 0, A of 1, A of 2, where A represents an array. So this is storing integers, that what we have seen in the first year. Okay, so next we'll proceed to the next point. The choice of the structure should be such that processing is efficiently done and the relationships between the data items are easily established. This is known as data representation. Here he is clearly mentioning, you may select an array, you may select a stack, you may select a queue. These are the examples for data structures that we are dealing with later. But you have to select such a data structure which should be efficient for processing. Have understood this concept so that we can proceed to the next. Okay, now let me proceed to the next part. Now the question arises here, what is data structures? So this is the definition of the data structure. The definition of the data structure, this is very important. Concentrate here. The logical or mathematical model of a particular organization of data. The logical or mathematical model of a particular organization of data is called data structure. So basically, the organization of data, as you have seen in arrays, in the first year classes we discussed about arrays. Remember that part, where in the arrays we are going to store the numbers in A of 0, A of 1, A of 2. So that is an organization of data, correct? In other words, let us see. In other words, data structure is the way of collecting and organizing data in such a way that we can perform operations on these data in effective way. So he is clearly mentioning here, and data structure is a collecting and organizing the data. Is clearly mentioning, let us see here, is clearly mentioning this part. Data structure is the way of collecting and organizing the data in such a way that where we can perform certain operations. What operations? Take an example of array. In array we can traverse an array, that is one operation. We can insert an element into an array, that is another operation. We can delete an element from array, we can find, we can search, we can sort. See, these are the operations on arrays what we can perform on arrays. And basically an array is a data structure. It is an example for data structure. Then what are the operations we can do on the array is that we can traverse array, we can insert an element into an array, we can delete an element from an array, we can search an element in an array, we can sort an array in an ascending and descending order. Later, in our later part, we are going to discuss those operations which are very important in the data structure part. Okay, now let me proceed here. Okay, in the next slide, we are going to see here what are the goals of data structures. Before we proceed in depth or in the classification of the data structure, first of all, we have to understand what are the goals before we design any data structure. Like it may be an array, it may be a stack, or it may be a queue, or it may be a linked list, which we are going to discuss it later. And these are the important data structures. But prior to that one, before we design those things, we have to understand what are the different goals of the data structures. The first goal of the data structure is correctness. What is correctness? We'll read it from the screen. The data structures designed must work correctly for all possible inputs. Are you getting this part? So he's telling clearly here, whatever we are getting an input on from the user, possible inputs, correct inputs. Okay, our computer is not going to process the data for the wrong inputs, as we know. So possible inputs and the correct inputs we have to take, and it whatever the data structure we have designed, it must work correctly for the all possible inputs, and it should give a correct result. This is a goal of data structure, first goal. Next we'll proceed to the second one, and we'll read it from the screen. The data structures designed should be fast and should not use more of the computer resources. Efficiency. Efficiency means in very less memory space, we have to design lot of things. It should not use more of the computer resources such as memory. That means the memory space for the data structures should be less, but it should be faster. So this is an efficiency, the second goal. And then next, the third one is robustness. What is robustness? We'll read it from the screen. The data structures design should be robust. That is, it must produce correct output for all correct inputs. As we have discussed in the correctness, our data structure should produce and correct output for all the possible inputs. But the robustness, here we are discussing it. It should produce correct output for all the correct inputs. So on this screen you are seeing three important goals here. Correctness, first one is correctness, second one is efficiency, third one is robustness. And the fourth one is adaptability. And the fourth one is what? Adaptability. So this is very important. Adaptability. We'll read it from the screen, and then later we're going to discuss here. The data structures designed should be adaptable to the changing conditions and technology. Every day the technology changes, the new things appears, and the old trends will go off. We'll follow the new trends, new softwares, new applications. When the new applications are designed, when new user interfaces are designed, our data structure must support those new technologies. This is very important. So whatever the data structures we are designing, it should support the upcoming, or it should support the upcoming technology. This is a very challenging task. Okay, then next one, we are having reusability. While discussing about object oriented programming, I told reusability in the sense we are going to write a code for only one time, but that can be reused in many of the sectors. We are not going to write the code again and again for the different applications, but we'll write code in general in classes for one time, but those classes, those objects, we are going to use it in different applications, for variety of applications. So these are the 5 goals of a data structure. The first goal of the data structure is what? Correctness. The second is efficiency. The third one is robustness. And the fourth one is adaptability. And the fifth one is reusability. So we discussed here today, what is data structure actually. What is data structure? We'll repeat it. We'll go back. What is data structure? The logical or mathematical model of a particular organization of data is called as data structure. I have given an example of array because we know about arrays in the first year. But whereas we have to discuss about stack, queues and linked list in the second year. That is the main concepts of data structures. Okay, and then we have discussed about what? The goals of a data structures: correctness, efficiency, robustness, adaptability, and then reusability. Okay, for the next we'll go here, classification of the data structures. But prior to that one, I will say you can prepare the goals of a data structure, or you can consider this question for 3 marks or 5 marks in the explanatory part. We can have this question, goals of data structures. We can expect in 3 marks or 5 marks. Now let me proceed to the next part, from where we are going to proceed to our concept data structures, classification of the data structures. Basically, the data structures are classified into 2 types: primitive and non-primitive data structures. Basically, we have 2 types. One is primitive data structures and another one is non-primitive data structures. Whereas in primitive data structures, integer, character, float, double and pointer. So please concentrate here. Primitive data structures are those data structures which are already designed, which are already inbuilt, or library data types. Correct. Integer is a library data type, character, float, double, and then we are having pointer. So free-defined. These are free-defined things. But whereas non-primitive, in the non-primitive data structures, we have 2 types here. First one is linear and then second one is non-linear. And in the linear, we have arrays that we have discussed in the first year classes. What is array? An array is a set of homogeneous elements, and we are going to rediscuss in the next class. Okay, so see once again, the data structures are classified into 2 types. The first type is primitive data structure, and in the primitive data structure we are having integer, character, float, double, pointer, which are almost inbuilt. Whereas user defined, that means an user is going to define new things. Non-primitive data structures and non-primitive data structures are further classified as linear and non-linear. What do you mean by linear? Conjugative sections. Non-linear means it's a randomly. In the linear, we are having arrays. Array is what? Array is linear non-primitive data structure. Non-primitive and linear data structure. And we have defined array in the first year only, that an array is a set of homogeneous means similar, same data type elements. But in the second, strings also we have discussed in the first year. Strings, a set of characters. But in the second year, we are going to discuss about stack, queues and linked list. So what are the linear data structures here? Arrays, strings, stack, queues and linked list. Okay, another we are having here non-linear. In the non-linear, we are having trees and graphs. So this is a major classification. You have to remember this part. So for today's section, this is enough. Remember this part. You need not to write any notes here. Just concentrate on this video. See here. Later I am going to convert these things into PDF, and I will supply it in your WhatsApp group. Thank you. We're going to meet tomorrow again.